How's it going, everyone? It's been a little bit since I've done any type of anything, really. I've done some videos. I haven't done anything on Twitch over the past couple of weeks between the hospital and the after effects of that. You know, getting better going from there. I know that I recently put out a video stating that I was done with Magic the Gathering. I was done with it. The drama was over, unless Wizards of the Coast managed to shit the bed, so to speak. And who's surprised? Wizards of the Coast has shit the bed again. To talk about what's going on, I have with me Galley Turbo, Garbage Empress Galley. And I have Antwon, the leader of the, I almost said Knights of the Round Table, and I would have rightly been kicked in the dick by Antwon, but the Proper Villains podcast, Proper Villains Live, also helped for the guild list. So say hi, you two.
Greetings and salutations out there, Twitch. I haven't been on Twitch in a while.
Hello.
Yeah,
Video again.
It's very difficult to I haven't been able to get this to work on YouTube the past couple of times I've tried. So we're back to Twitch, which is fine because I kind of want to get some partnership going. So
I actually like Twitch better.
I do too, but that's only because I fucking hate Google. Just so you know, swearing is okay. Just don't, pull a Zell. Antwon will understand that. Gally, you may not.
Are you saying I can't say that one special word?
Unless you're talking about the Final Fantasy character, then I don't really understand what you're talking about either.
No, Zell is one of my co-hosts for the Proper Villains. He has a very particularly fabulously famous word that he likes to say, and it's something that could possibly get, the entire stream shut down.
Oh.
Yeah,
oh.
I'm kind of guilty of that one. I kind of send a couple of super chats. By the way, has that $5 been donated to the Michael J. Fox Parkinson's Research Charity, like I asked on behalf of Cody Crossman?
It's on its way. It's the best thing I can say. It's on its way.
Excellent.
I understand that he actually liked one of the tweets that came out because of that. So, either he really is a cuck boy and doesn't understand that no one really wants anything to do with him, or he's just trying to be, ironic. I'm going to like the stream that, was talking about me for a good hour because I bitched out and didn't want to come on.
Yeah, well, Cody, if you're watching, I was thinking of you, and I want to get you help for your Parkinson's. Thank you, by the way, Zell, for pointing out that that's probably what this problem is. So, let's do a quick recap of the shenanigans that has been happening concerning Wizards of the Coast. November, some random thought decides she's going to post and say that this YouTuber has kicked her out of, she's leaving cosplay for Magic the Gathering, and names him Jeremy Hambley on Sleeve Media. And of course, cue the women need help, blah, blah, blah. December rolls around. He gets permanently banned by the DCI, which is Wizards of the Coast little thing they have for determining what's a sanctioned event and who can play at them. So Jeremy, in classic shitlord fashion, decides that he's going to turn around and play games with them. And he starts getting information that it looks like there is an issue of pedophiles within the judge program. And of course, he starts posting about it. A bunch of us signal boost it and whatnot, if you can call it that. And
I'd say it's a signal boost. Enough people were talking about it.
Yeah. And so he, the whole, we get this fun little thing going where we get Elaine Chase, one of the vice presidents of WotC, saying it's all misinformation. And then a couple of days later, it's like, ha, caught you in a lie.
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, I called her a liar in like 2 videos. Anyways, so we get that going. We're having fun with it. Somebody's dying downstairs, probably the cats. I don't know which. Anyways, so we get everything going. We start getting stuff going. Next month rolls around, and we now have Ross Prajner, who we can confirm is a convicted sex offender. He's a judge, and he's playing still, even though that's probably in violation of his, registry requirements. He don't give a damn, though. And
his tip on how to actually get around the DCI was actually ingenious.
Oh, what? Mess around with your name?
Accidentally forget one letter of your name? Yeah, that's
actually. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually pretty crafty. I give him points for that. And what ends up happening is Wizard of the Coast comes out with this thing saying, "Hey, we're gonna, stores and the tournament organizers are now responsible for taking care of background checks for their judges and whatnot." Whether that's legally binding is a completely different issue, but Wizards of the Coast isn't going to follow up and make sure that there aren't pedophiles within the judge program or at your local Friday Night Magic. So parents, you may want to watch your children a little closer at Friday Night Magic. And now we're here. We're here where Wizards of the Coast is now getting the personal information for many of the people who have been vociferous, who have called them out on their bullshit. I'm not even going to say shenanigans, because their shenanigans are not cheeky and fun. It's mean and dispirited, which makes them not shenanigans at all. And Gally, tell them what you won.
What I won? I got an email from Wizards of the Coast, and I'm going to screen share here. One sec.
Sure. I'm sucking on a cough drop, by the way. I have a sore throat.
Google Hangouts in forever.
Yeah, that's kind of like how I am. I don't know what's going on anymore.
We're going to do... Okay. Hopefully you can see it. Confirm yes or no. Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool.
I can see it.
So I got this email on Monday around 5 o'clock. I had just gone home from school. And I'll just read it off. Hello, my name. I'm an investigator at Wizards of the Coast. I am writing to you because we received allegations that you violated Wizards' Code of Conduct. We received complaints that your alleged statements and actions on social media violate the terms of Wizards' Code of Conduct, specifically several Twitter posts made during the month of December 2017. We are currently investigating these claims and would like to give you the opportunity to provide a statement or any additional information you would like Wizards to consider. If you would like to participate in this investigation, please review your post and respond to this email with any information you believe would be relevant. So I asked.
Well, you know why they want you to give evidence, right?
They want me to give myself up, pretty much.
Yeah, they want to know what you think you did wrong. So it may be just one tweet, but if you give them 30, well, then now they have more evidence against you.
Exactly.
They do this shit in retail all the time. They say they have something on you, but they really don't. They want you to give yourself up.
Well, I mean, police do that too.
Yes, it's very passive aggressive.
Which is why, even if you're innocent, don't talk to the cops without a lawyer present.
Well, that's where I get to. I pretty much kind of was like, I'm confused. I don't even know what this is about. And then they go, this is in regards to your Twitter account, Gally Turbo. You made several posts since the end of the last year, and some of them are reported to us as harassment. Please review your posts and let us know if you think any of them require additional context. Well, I can't do anything if you don't tell me specifically what I'm talking about. So I make that.
If you don't tell me which ones have been reported, then which ones can I give you context for? It's just like Antwon said, they're looking for you. They're giving you the rope to hang yourself with is pretty much what they want.
So I reply, I make on average about 10 to 20 tweets a day.
Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump them up.
That's about average for a company at least. But for a
I make maybe
consumer,
like
that is
5.
far below average. You have to be more specific since you're the one that brought forth these claims of harassment. If you want me to provide a statement, I have to know exactly what I'm being accused of. While I understand you want to protect the anonymity of those who reported me, I need to know what specific tweets were reported as harassment. Is going to be any meaningful discussion. Of course, they don't provide that. Hello, Galley. We are unable to provide you with any specific information at this time. I would like to make, if you would like to make a more general statement to be reviewed by the committee, that is also an option.
So pretty much they've said you're banned. They've made their decision.
Yeah, so I kind of get a little bit aggressive here. Can I get the contact information for your legal department? I would also like the contact information for Hasbro's PR department so I can file an official complaint with them. I feel the ambiguity of this exchange hasn't been very helpful. I also don't see why what I tweet has anything to do with your company's business. I can only assume you mean to use the possibility of being DCI banned as a means to bully me and to silence my voice. And then they just say any further correspondence must be done through the legal department. Like, okay.
You can only contact our legal department by sending a formal written request.
Exactly, yeah.
No, fuck nuggets. You're the ones who contacted me. You start this shit off. That's how this works.
And they say by postal mail so they can use the excuse, oh, it got lost in the mail if they don't get it.
That's why you do return receipt requested.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I found when I sued Hewlett Packard is you really want to do that so they can't try to go, yeah, we never got it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, there's another little trick you can do. Aside from the receipt requested, you put their address as the return address as well. And technically, you can send mail for free that way as well. You just put that in there and it'll send it to the return address.
That seems so illegal.
It's gaming the system at best. So I'm not as special as Galley because I didn't get one of those emails. Instead, I got told that they're looking into me. But I got told that by you, Spectre.
You were. I can actually pull it up. I don't know if I can actually screen share that.
I've been talking to both Jeremy and Tony of MTG Line.
Yeah.
And well, apparently MTG Purple got one too. Right?
Hey, King's Knight, how's it going? I don't know if Purple has gotten one. I know he was on the short list.
He made a video about it.
Well, that was the video that he made was about the message, basically the same exact thing that you got. He said that Lion got, and he was talking about that.
Oh, he was talking about Lions? I thought he was talking about his.
No, he was talking about Lions.
Okay.
Is this one? Yep. Okay. So, how do I screen share? I have no clue how to screen share. Antwon, help me out.
Okay.
Oh, you go up to the little dot at the top right.
Oh, there we go.
It's the first thing. And you can pick what app you want to screen share on. Or you can just do whatever you choose.
So, there you go. Can you see that?
Barely.
Let me mic.
All right. Yeah, it's all right, so it says this came from my source. This came from a friend I have known since high school. So this is not some random schmuck that is playing stupid games. MTG Line is only the beginning. He sent this to me 2 days ago after this entire thing was made public. It's gotten out, obviously, but they're looking at other YouTubers who upset them over the past few months. Their primary targets are Terra Sophia, Magical Tabletop Girls. They actually have that on the list like that, apparently. Purple, Rudy/Alpha Investments, Knights of the Round Table, and actually in parentheses it says whoever the hell they are. And then me. And then Antwon was feeling a little salty that he was not on that list. He was he was borderline crying in DMs with me. But
Borderline crying my ass. I
shut up,
will
Cody.
admit, I will admit that I was salty, but just because of the fact that my videos were actually very popular, so I don't understand why they wouldn't have taken notice.
I feel like if it had been Zell, I feel like Zell would have been like, "How do they not know me?" Let's be honest, that would have been him, and
That's very true.
that would have been completely legitimate. I'm trying to find the one that I did up as a shit post because
if this is true, what I think they're going to do is that they're going to pretty much me and probably Lion are on the test run during this first spoiler week, and then they're going to do that in the next week. They're going to try to do all those people like spread out.
There we go. There's the
That's what I think will go.
There's the fixed letter that I did because it's totally 100% true and not photoshopped or done in paint at all. It's totally legit.
Totally 100% legit.
You can tank this one to the bank. So anyways, so I ended up, and I kind of wanted to know if Antwon was on there too, so I got back and touched him. Hey, can you check to see if Antwon's on there? He's like, Cold Spire, and then there's a separate line that says Antwon / help for the guild list. So Antwon, you're on there twice. I don't know what you're bitching about.
I'm an overachiever. I'm sorry.
So here's what I was thinking. The more likely option here is that they're doing this not just to target people who supported Jeremy and signal boosted the pedophilia in the judge program issue. They're going after anybody that said anything negative about them over the past few months. Remember, they didn't want to admit to the subpar cardstock issue that they've had. They had to come out and admit it though because it was signal boosted by everyone. And Rudy was on there saying it, and Antwon, myself, the Knights, Lion, etc. They've already banned Jeremy. What are they going to do? Ban him again? I mean, they downgraded his lifetime ban.
So now it just says null.
No. Now it says he gets off the ban list June 7th, 2099. So Jeremy, last until June 8th, 2099. Show up at your next Friday Night Magic and be like, bitches, I'm back.
He's gonna be like 100 years old.
Let's be completely honest here. Jeremy's enough of a shitlord that he will find a way to live that long to spite them.
Out of pure spite and hatred, just to show them.
Absolutely, I would. I'm an asshole like that.
I'm just imagining Jeremy like paying to get cryogenically frozen and then waking up.
they wake him up alongside Walt Disney and Ted Williams. But it's really I saw that and I laughed a little bit. I'm like, I shit posted on Twitter. I'm like, well, on the plus side, Jeremy's ban has been downgraded from a lifetime ban. But but anyways, I think they're going after anybody that spoke out against them, period. And I think part of that is because that absolutely laughable, that content creator policy, I'm sure you guys have seen it, where it's pretty much, don't be mean to us. Dead serious, that's what it says. I will bring that up.
No, it also says that we can work around fair use. Anything that you do that has something to do with magic, we get a piece of. I'm sorry, you dumb sons of bitches. I can take a card and alter it and sell it. Guess what? I bought the fucking card. There's nothing you can do about it.
It's a transformative work at that point.
Exactly.
And companies write that kind of crap all the time. Like, a lot of companies will, when you get employed by them, they'll make you sign a contract saying you can't sue them. You can certainly sue them.
Right. It's just what makes me laugh is that number 4 is literally "Don't hurt wizards."
Don't hurt us.
Don't hurt wizards. How could I not hurt wizards? I guess I won't become a judge and start diddling little kiddies.
Oh no, that's not hurting Wizards. That's hurting their customers.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I
totally
don't
legitimate.
hurt Wizards.
Exactly. Yes. Well, they're saying, don't use our logos or trademarks in your videos.
Okay, actually, that one's actually kind of reasonable as far as trademark laws goes, but it's still, you can still do it with fair use.
Yes, fair use gets around pretty much this entire thing. Fair use gets around all of this. So that's why I think they're trying to do this, is they're going after small-time content creators specifically because their focus is on if we are able to punish these small-time creators and they don't fight back, we can come along and say, and then the masses remain ignorant on the entire thing. People are stupid. They'll believe a lie either because they want it to be true or because they're afraid it's true. And so when they come out and say, these people didn't fight it, it's legit, even though they know it's not, nobody else is going to fight them in the future. That's how they look at it. Now, we know that MTG Lion got a follow-up saying, oh, no, we're not actually banning you. And it's probably because he's a freaking lawyer in real life, lawyer who doesn't know how to summarize anything.
His email said we are not banning you at this time, but that was not, their investigation's still ongoing.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, no, that...
So he can still be banned.
Right.
It's because he worded his email like, why are you banning me immediately? And they said, we are not banning you at this time.
Right. So if they decide to go after him, it'll be kind of interesting to watch because doesn't he live in Cali?
No, he lives in Houston.
He's in Houston?
He lives like a few blocks away from me.
What is it? What is it with like all you people living in the Midwest? God damn.
Fucking like, Houston's amazing. We are the most diverse city in America, and we have the least amount of identity politic bullshit. Go figure.
But it's like still Texas.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with
we were very blue. We had a gay mayor. We had the first transgender district judge in the entire nation. Actually, both of those people were cool. I liked them, and I'm kind of a right-leaning centrist.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, but you guys have like scary spiders and fire ants and African killer bees, and it's because of stuff like that that makes me live in a part of the United States where my face hurts for 3 months out of the year. But
it's not that bad.
You have spiders. I am terrified of spiders. There's like, you want to see me cry like a girl.
You're spiders unlikely to get bit by a brown recluse in your home. It's possible, sure, because they do like to hide in clothes, but you have to be out in the woods really for them to get into your house. And then the only situation where you'll probably come across a black widow in the suburban area or an urban area is at possibly a gas station, because they tend to hide in pumps. But even then, you're not really in danger because they don't actively try to go after you. They want to get away from you first.
Pumps?
Yeah.
In the pumps?
Yeah. I used to work for a gas station. I worked there for 6 years. And we had 2 different infestations of black widows. Nice. In 2 different years. So, I mean, they're not hard to get rid of. It's just, they like moist environments, so the pumps are beneficial to them.
Of course they're not hard to get rid of in that kind of environment. You literally shoot the pump until it explodes, and there you go. No more infestation. No more block either, but no more infestation, and that's the most important part.
What you have to worry about down here is the flooding and the heat. The heat is pretty severe down here.
But it's a dry heat.
No, it's a wet heat.
Oh, well, fuck that noise.
Houston's on the Gulf Coast. It's incredibly humid. It is always humid here. My hair is always poof, going crazy because it's always humid here. And then, of course, we had 2 major floods in like less than a year.
Have you guys thought that might be God telling you to get the fuck out of there? I mean,
I don't believe in God, so
it's like living in Tornado Alley. Every year, a tornado goes through your freaking trailer park, It might be God telling you to get the fuck out of there. I'm just saying.
Be honest. Be honest. Would you rather live in Los Angeles or Seattle or Houston?
Neither, because apparently God is telling people to get out of both spots.
Well, I've lived
I would
in
never live in Houston.
I've lived in both of those places, so and I'm actually close to one of them right now. I would actually rather live in Seattle. I like the rain. That's me.
I don't like snow.
I don't like snow. Snow
It
is
never really snows
amazing.
down here, which is good because I don't really like snow.
Snow is amazing. But back on track, I think. I don't even remember what we were talking about before we went off about God and telling us to
how
get the fuck out.
what they're trying to do.
and all that.
Right. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to prop up and defend this what is essentially an indefensible fan content policy. So once they go after smaller YouTubes or content creators and whatnot, they can then, then the bigger ones they can kind of put under their thumb. And they say they can monetize your content. No, you can't. Okay, let's make this very clear. If I do something exhorting, and I'm not talking about exhort or extort, I guess it is, whatever. If I do something that's positive of Wizards and they love it, they can't just like download that, slap their watermark on it and put it on their channel. They can't. I retain all intellectual property rights to that. I retain the trademark and copyright to that. And if they were to even try something like that, enjoy the lawsuit because you're gonna face it. And it's going to be pretty painful for you.
Well, we all know that Wizards is run by a bunch of middle managers and upper managers that have no fucking idea what they're doing. And the people below them aren't being paid very well. This is all according to Glassdoor reviews of the last 2 years.
Oh yeah, no one's happy working there. It's just the higher up.
Nobody is. I found it appalling that they had there were 2 complaints in Glassdoor directed to the HR department for not taking sexual harassment claims seriously. Sexual harassment claims against upper management.
Yeah, sounds about right. I've noticed a lot of these companies have that problem. Trendy Entertainment, when they had that problem with Jeremy Stiglitz, kind of the same thing.
The owner of that company was a complete idiot too.
Oh yeah, no, but so anyways, but that's my thinking on this. And one of the things I said yesterday on the Knights podcast was they don't know the personal information of, say, myself. As far as I know, they don't know Antwon's personal information. The only way they could possibly do it without having to get in touch with YouTube itself is to file DMCA takedown strikes on some of our videos in the hopes that we will fight them, because when you appeal a DMCA takedown notice or DMCA strike, you have to put your personal information there, your mailing address, your contact information, your full name. And then they won't follow up on the DMCA strike. They'll just say, hey, by the way, you're banned from the DCI now, which is totally fine with me. I will play that game because at that point you show me that you are issuing DMCA takedown notices in violation of US code and, stand the fuck by. We're going to play some games.
Well, I told you on my Discord that if they want to break federal law to get my information so they can ban a DCI number I haven't used in 4 years, I will wear it as a badge of honor.
Right.
Oh, I will too.
And then just to spite them, I'll go back and get a brand new DCI number under my middle name and continue fucking playing just to spite the sons of bitches.
I mean, I've got like 3 or 4 DCI numbers spread between 2 names, so it's not like I really care at this point. One of the funnier things, one of the things I said is, I've never actually used their online stuff. I've never signed up for an account online or anything like that. And when I signed up for my DCI number back in 2003, they give you like this. At the time, it was just this little thing saying pretty much don't be an asshole. And that was literally all it was. It was just, respect everybody at the venue. I think I was at a pre-release in Boston for Scourge.
Scourge?
Yeah, I think so.
Good set.
It was, it's still my favorite. It's the first one I actually started playing, and but I've never signed up for anything, and they've never mailed or emailed me anything saying that there's updates to the rules. So technically they can't punish me because I never agreed to anything. It's like trying to force me into a contract, hold me to the words of a contract that I never saw or signed. So
I don't even think I signed anything because I've had 3 DCIs, and the one that they hit was the one I posted on my Twitter profile because I was baiting it. Because I don't frankly care if they DCI ban me. I'll either get a new one or I'll use one of my old ones. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, the 2 local gaming stores I played at, both of them have said, something happens, you got another DCI number with us. We don't really care. I mean, one of them is talking about getting out of Wizards Play Network altogether. Anyways, they're not. This was actually the one I talked about where the transgender employee lied about me and kicked and was fired for kicking 2 underage kids out in the middle of the pouring rain for disagreeing with her. But they're thinking of getting out of the WPN because it's just not making them as much money as Pathfinder Society. Dungeons and Dragons isn't even selling as well as Pathfinder does. The organized play, nobody wants to play it. They'd rather play in Pathfinder Society, which is really weird because Pathfinder Society is not the best way to play Pathfinder. I'm going to say that. They make more money with Warhammer, BattleTech.
With the D&D stuff, it's not that they can play 3.5. If you want to be part of the Players Guild or whatever it's called, you have to play 5.0. And I, as an old school gamer, I am enthralled with 3.5 because you can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
5th edition is...
Well, and I don't understand what the incentive to be WPN anymore, because they treat the local game stores terribly. They oversaturate them and make them contractually buy a certain amount of product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if they don't want it.
It's not just that. In order to maintain your WPN certification, if you're doing organized play, you have to have at least 1 tournament in a calendar year that hits a certain minimum number of players added, or you lose your ability to run organized play. Now, it's like 32 people, which generally speaking is not too much. The first store that I played at and that I judged at, we had trouble hitting that, but that's because we have like 500 stores around us that do this. And we'd literally call up some of the guys who weren't showing up to any of the stores and be like, do you mind if we just throw you in and say you showed up? And for the most part, everybody said yeah. But they do stuff like that. And I'm going to say right now, 5th edition is baby's first pen and paper. Okay, it's very easy. Okay.
It's funny you mentioned that, because remember that tweet a few weeks back from like one of the head designers of Dungeons and Dragons or something like that?
About how women can't understand it because the rules are too hard?
Yeah, women can't understand rules, and I'm tired of people saying that, defending it, pretty much.
Well,
that's
obviously, because if they understood rules, and they'd stay in the goddamn kitchen like God intended. Anyways, but
you can't cook.
I can't cook. Look, I make a really good steak. Okay, that's about as good as I get. But in all seriousness, it's what was it? 3.5 is definitely the way to go. If you want to play something else, you want to play some organized play, get into Pathfinder, because it's literally 3.75. It's so customizable, and it's so easy to break. It's so easy to break classes. I had a ranger who had 23 flat-foot AC with no armor check penalty at level 5.
You're an evil son of a bitch.
I have no idea what that means, but
it means his character can't be hit.
Oh.
At all. No,
Not good.
if they want to talk about yes, baby's first tabletop game. Yeah, yes, it is. I started with second edition. I dealt with fucking Thaco. Fuck that game. 3.5 was a cakewalk after that shit.
Third edition was a cakewalk after that shit.
So it's there really is no incentive because okay, with the Adventurers Guild with D&D, you can take your character and travel all over the world, and the stats stay the same. You want to know
Right.
how else you do that? You bring the character sheet with you,
Yes.
or
It's
make a
this-
new character. It's not that hard,
It's
especially
this-
if you're playing in something like the Adventurers Guild. You play this game.
Pathfinder Society is the same way. You get, at the end of each of the modules, each of the scenarios, you get this this chronicle sheet saying this is what you did and what not, and that's how you're supposed to establish where your character is, what gear, gold, items, stuff like that. And you're supposed to bring them with you everywhere you go. I got to the point because I was just DMing so many, I was DMing so many games for Pathfinder Society that I just started uploading them to my cloud, and I bring my character's on the cloud and everything. I have my tablet, and I just throw it down for I'd put the tablet down and be like, you want to look through my chronicle sheets and everything, here you go, because I'm not carrying reams of paper with me.
The thing is there's no incentive to be part of the WPN anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of local game store exclusives. You can go buy a From the Vault at Walmart for cheaper, maybe only 2 cents cheaper, $1 cheaper, but you can still get it for cheaper. They're
But it adds
selling,
up.
they're selling master sets at Walmart and Target. These are sets that are supposed to be exclusive to bring in the business for local game stores.
Yep.
Well, they took away promos. I know they're bringing them back, and they're going to be useful for standard. Don't give me that shit, because every single promo that was ever useful for standard was not useful. It was cards that no one wanted. They took everything away. They took it all away. There's nothing in WPN that stores should be happy about.
Well, also, oh, darn it, I just forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead.
They back with what was it? It was one of the I think it was Modern Masters. It might have been. I ended up buying a case from the Target that was across from the what's it called, the local gaming store I was at the time for $200 cheaper, and 2 days before it was supposed to be on sale. And when I literally went to them, I literally went to their manager at the time, and I said, look, these aren't supposed to be out just yet. You have not for 2 days. And the manager's response was, none of us really care. We can sell it now. So whatever. So I bought everything. I took a picture of the receipt. I took a picture of the entire case, sent it to Wizards, and their response was, nothing we can do. Literally.
Because it's a big box store. They just send them shipments. The big box store.
Say no to Walmart? No. No to Target? It's not going to happen.
So it's become more and more evident that WotC really does not care about the players anymore, and really doesn't give a shit about the stores. There's nothing that's holding anybody from playing something else. Magic used to have something of a draw where you had to hone your deck, you had to learn new skills, you were eager to get the new sets. Spoiler season was something important. Now we have a spoiler season every fucking month. There's nothing to look forward to. Look what they did with Legacy Masters. They spoiled everything 2 months ahead of the time that it was going to be released. And what happened? The secondary market exploded with the cards that everybody wanted. And when Legacy came out, nothing. No one bought anything because they already had the fucking cards.
One of the things that always got me was this whole, you ever go to Star City Games and it's like, before a set comes out, they already have individual cards that have and prices and specific amounts of those individual cards they will have for sale as of the day it comes out. How do they do that? you know, the only two ways they can do it are they're opening boxes to get these cards, which is not very likely. That there's too much, you know, randomization there. The second option is that they're buying specific numbers of those cards from WotC itself, which is a problem as far as I am concerned. It puts, you know, Star City, Card Haws, COD Kingdom, Troll and Toad, all of them in a position that the local gaming stores just can't match.
Well, in Sports and More, you get that.
We don't speak of
That's true.
we don't speak
But
of them.
But I've kind of stopped playing Magic except for like casual formats like EDH. I'd rather spend my money on an online digital game like Warframe, or
Exactly.
oh heck, I would rather go spend money on Hearthstone over Magic the Gathering, because as somebody that's a printing major in school, it offends me that the print quality is so bad. That was
I'd want to spend money on Hearthstone
to begin with. Is I was inspired by old Magic cards.
No, Hearthstone's actually pretty fun, and I know what Arena is supposed to be. Arena is supposed to be Magic's version of Hearthstone.
Right.
If MTGO had even half of the personality that Hearthstone does, it would have been extremely popular. The problem is Hearthstone is extremely accessible. The packs are easy to get. The whole model of MTG Arena is based off of Hearthstone.
Right,
except for the when you the vault. The vault is a stupid fucking idea.
Right. I wouldn't put money into Hearthstone because of Blizzard's recent decision to follow in WotC's footsteps, where if you're being an asshole on Twitter, we're going to punish you for it.
Well, okay, so that
It's
I
not
think
just
is
them. It's Twitch too. Did you see that Twitch is doing it now?
Yeah.
With Blizzard, I think it's more along the lines of I mean, Overwatch League is a huge thing. It's on right now. I think it's more along the lines of keeping the pros in order. I have yet to hear any reports of anyone being banned because of something that happened on Twitter, unless they were a pro. So I don't necessarily think that's going to be an issue. I think it's kind of put out there to say, hey, don't be a dick. And if this becomes an issue, then something may be happening. So if they're constantly going after someone or constantly going after a player, or they've been blocked and banned on like for Overwatch, for example, they blocked them on one thing and then they find out that they found them on the Blizzard server and they're still going after them, and they're going after them in the Blizzard forums, and all of these things happen, and then they still go after them on Twitter. Okay, that I think is an extreme, but I think that is why that ruling is in there. I think it's just to keep the professionals and the ones that are the faces of these games kind of under wraps, because Hearthstone is extremely popular on Twitch, extremely popular.
Well, the counter to that is before December, would you have expected WotC to have banned someone for wrongthink on Twitter? I mean, he's already blacklisted by WotC.
I think you mean before November.
No, December, because he was banned in December.
They were going.
Pretty sure it was the end of November that he was banned.
So
December 7th. December 7th. I remember that because I did a video and I said the title was December 7th, a date which will live in infamy.
So that's the thing. This has been going on for a while. Before I did my first video about Jeremy, I had done a video on Magic the Gathering 2 years before that. Well, a year before that. And believe it or not, it was about Jeremy's peeing into the ether. And it basically was saying that there is a disease in Magic the Gathering that is creeping in and it needs to be stopped. This has been going on for a while. So I've read over that joke 100 times. I still don't know how saying that planeswalkers pee into the ether is transphobic. Can someone explain it to me? Somebody.
Gally, you're on.
It is not transphobic, but I can kind of understand why somebody would take it as transphobic at that time and place.
Because they're a bitch.
Because at that time that he made that tweet, the entire mainstream media was in full swing about trans bathroom rights. That's all you were hearing about all week long, was nothing but trans bathroom rights.
Yes, but he didn't say anything about them not being able to go
I
to the
didn't say
bathroom.
the context. I didn't say like the tweet in itself was transphobic.
No, I
But
get
these
that. I'm not
these
jumping on. I'm
crazy
not jumping on you, I
leftists
promise.
that are so thin-skinned, they see anything remotely like that, and they'll be like, "Oh my god,
Hold my
trans
pose.
misogyny, trans misogyny."
The problem I have with this joke is it's true. If Jace has to pee, he can go to whatever plane of existence he wants and pee. It doesn't matter. He could teleport into a fucking bathroom if he wanted to on three plane of existences away. There's nothing stopping him. The context, even if we're talking about the most extreme context that these morons are taking, that joke, it's not even in poor taste. It's a dad joke.
It
It
is.
really
It's
is.
totally a dad joke.
It really is.
But
And that's
you already knew at this point that people were already against Jeremy, right?
Yes.
right. He was already blacklisted at that point, wasn't he? Or did he get blacklisted shortly after that?
He got
No, it was
blacklisted after that.
Okay.
However, well, you know, him and Daniel have been arguing since eternity. You know, it's if he feels, but
There's two constants in this world, and that's one of them.
well, and Aaron Campbell,
I'll be
Has a
right
dick.
back.
the ogre. Watch, he's gonna ban me for saying she's an ogre. Hey, I didn't misgender her though.
Well, that's like it's actually one of the things. You know, I'm assuming you know who Cody Crossman is.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, we were having a debate on the Knights of the Round Table podcast where you know, he's like, you know, Jeremy aggressively misgenders her and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, so what's your point? You know, Erin throws it out just as much as she takes it, only she can't take it. She's very thin skinned. What's your point? Are you saying it's okay to aggressively misgender her? Her, yes, because it's funny. But other people, not so much. Why? Because I'm an asshole. Okay, there is absolutely 100% a double standard there. She is an asshole to people. People have the right to be an asshole back. As far as I am concerned, if you could dish it out, you better be able to take it. And a lot of these people who want to play themselves off as assholes, you know, I'm even going to put it out there. Jeremy is one of them. He really can't take it. And you see this with a lot of his videos where he's channeling his inner Donald Trump and he's responding to every little tweet against him. And that's been a source of contention for me.
Well, he hasn't been doing that lately. I know what you mean by that, though. Because he used to, like, oh, this guy is tweeting me constantly. Let me talk about it on stream.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's more, like, focused on, I guess, bigger a little bit issues than just simple shit posting tweets.
Right. But it was like, you know, and I understood that he was upset that he got banned for what was absolutely spurious claims. You know, Thoughtgate strikes again. But it was like he was doing it just so often, and it was like it was becoming harder to actually support him because all he was doing was saying is, you know, my feelings are kind of hurt here. Well, nobody gives a shit. Let's get back to the shit posting and whatnot.
Wait. You're mad that he shit posts and mad that he talks about his feelings about not being able to shit post as much?
Yeah, stop being a bitch. But in all seriousness, you know, and actually that's one of the videos that ended up getting me into some trouble with a lot of the supporters. You know, I ended up, right after the pedophile thing started, I had like 40 comments from people saying, you know, oh, you must support pedophiles because you want him to shut up. It's like 2 weeks after I put out that video, it's like, you have
Spectre,
no
Spectre,
idea.
why are you kitty diddler? Why are you kitty diddler?
Because I'm a level 1 judge. What do you expect? I thought we literally established this. We're still establishing it. Somebody's going to clip that, though. I guarantee you. I'd be very upset if somebody didn't clip it. I might channel my inner Donald Trump if somebody doesn't clip it. But in all seriousness, it was like he you know, it got to the point that even, you know, I was like, I'm not sure I can really support this. It looks less like he has a valid point and more like he's just shit posting. But it's, you know, Cody was constantly saying that, and it was, is it okay? So you're okay if he, you know, with him aggressively misgendering people? In her case, yes. Anybody else's case, no. But at the same time, I don't think in anybody else's case he would aggressively misgender anybody. I mean, has he misgendered you? Has he misgendered Tara? I don't think so.
He has never misgendered me.
All right, I'm sorry about that.
Oh.
Now, he has jokingly called me a cunt.
I don't care if you say that. I say it all the time. I play with Australians all the time, so.
But he has never misgendered me. In fact, there's only one person in the world I would ever misgender.
Is
Man,
that Campbell?
no. It's completely unrelated to magic. It's that person that I exposed on my Twitter. If you follow me, you'll know who I'm talking about.
I'm drawing a blank on it. Won't lie.
I won't talk about it because it's not really related to magic. But pretty much the only thing I'll say is that they stalked me and somebody close to me, and that they do meth. And they've been doing it for over a year and a half.
Nice. So, I mean, at this point, it's very clear. And I want to say this. I wanted to say this earlier, but I got an email. I'm not going to share it because I'm going to be using it in a bit. But I'm going to pull it up. Hi, Spectre. I follow you on Twitter and YouTube, and I really like the information you put out. If I can get your mailing address, so I'd like to send you some stuff, please contact me. Regards, puts his name, and then forgot to take out the Wizards of the Coast trailer that follows at the end of his emails.
Wait. He's trying to. So what you're saying is that someone from Wizards of the Coast is trying to say that they're a fan of yours to try and get your address because they don't know how to find out who you are.
I'm not going to say that they have non-weaponized autism, but they're fucking retarded.
I was half tempted when I got that email on Monday, be like, I don't know who this is. Who is this? I don't know a Gally Spencer.
Who are you people?
But unfortunately, it probably wouldn't have worked because how many people are go by Gally in the Houston area?
Right. I mean, at the end of the day,
if they had done my dead name, I've been able to be like, you don't have the right person.
Transphobia.
Because my dead name is like super insane fucking common.
Is it Daniel? I bet it's Daniel.
I'm not gonna tell you. Fuck you, I'm not telling you.
Yeah, they dead name you. You put that on Twitter and be like, here's another shit post for you to get upset about, Wizards.
Like, oh, I'm pretty sure they're gonna ban me, and I know exactly why.
Because shit posting. Pick
well,
one.
yeah, and I know specifically. I actually know specifically probably which one it is.
Was it the P1P1?
Yeah, because not only did Nick Soyboy make these tweets saying go report her to Twitter and with Wizards of the Coast. By the way, that post, he got in trouble for it by Twitter. It was considered harassment.
Makes sense. I got Cody actually reported one of my tweets about him, and I appealed it. And what was it? What was it they said? Let me. Oh, actually, I can pull.
Well, and Emmy Handy and like all the. I imagine Aaron Campbell because I can't prove that one because it's behind protected account. Most definitely, probably they all follow the same people and they all agree with each other.
Right. It's
Oh, yeah,
it's an echo
it's
chamber.
a giant echo chamber.
It's a
And
giant
that
circle jerk in the case of
Kathy
the
Bates
chick with the dick.
or whatever that writes for that trash website, Hipsters of the Coast.
Oh,
Fuck that site.
Katie Bates.
Katie
Fuck that
Bates
site.
or whatever her name is.
I can say right now. that
Chubby face cunt.
Yeah, Katie Bates. So I know her. She lives like 90 minutes away from me. She is banned from one of the stores that I used to go to because everybody got tired of her because she would start fights in the middle of games so that she would annoy the player enough that they would just scoop and walk away because they didn't want to deal with it. She was actually told, I can't buy the judge who is a level 3. I can't ban you from the store, but I can ban you from signing up for my events. This was the thing that Cody,
That's how I feel about most of these people. Like I'm sure Daniel Fournier is probably fine, but like a lot of these girls that constantly complain about how badly they're treated at LGSs, it's probably because they're a bitch.
yeah,
I have never
Dan-
been treated poorly in LGS ever because I treat people with respect.
right. And like, the thing is like, with Daniel's actually a really cool guy. We talked to him. He and for the most part, Jeremy made up, but they're both shit posters just on different ends of the political spectrum, I guess you could say. And that's really what it is. They recognize each other for that. But this is what I got my 7-day suspension from Twitter for. It was a tweet saying, at Cody Crossman, you're a pretty dumb bitch. I'm the one who tagged you to begin with. He was talking about subtweeting people. And he was also talking, he insulted me, said, I lasted 5 minutes in a debate with him before I just stormed out. I said, unlike you, I'm not some block-happy, passive-aggressive shit cunt who can't take criticism. And after seeing you go after someone's kid rather than debate the argument, fuck off from my feed. And the reason I got it, you may not promote violence against, threaten, or harass other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or serious disease. Now, I said absolutely nothing about him being Canadian, nor did I mention his Parkinson's disease, which after yesterday I'm fairly convinced is true. So I'm still trying to figure out why I rated the 7-day suspension there.
I got a 12-hour suspension for 2 reasons back in December. My Pepe banner.
Yeah, I remember that.
Smug Pepe.
It's okay to play white guys.
And then I called one of these Magic the Gathering SJWs autistic. I said the autism is strong with this one, and apparently that got me the 12-hour ban. That was the final straw on that one.
I mean, it's really stupid how the way they operate is you can't start your ban until you delete the offending tweets.
Right?
And you can't appeal until after you delete the tweets. And they don't respond to your appeal until like an hour or two before your suspension is up. So it's like there's no reason to appeal it. They don't care. There's also the thing of I got a thing yesterday because I reported an account that was actually threatening and harassing me, and I wanted to make a point that I was punished for wrongthink, so I reported it, and yesterday I get an email stating that they weren't going to take any action despite the fact the person literally said, I want to kill this guy. Somebody get me his address. And then like 6 hours later, they sent me a notification on Twitter saying, we have taken action against this account for gross violations of the Twitter rules. It's like, which one is it, Twitter? Which one is it?
I remember I got one of those, we have found this account in violation, and then I totally don't remember.
I actually
reported them for it.
I got a 12-hour ban, like not just a suspension where I can still post and have people see my stuff. I got a 12-hour ban. I couldn't even like anything.
Yeah,
okay?
that's what I get.
So what it was for is when Chelsea Handler decided to blame Donald Trump for all the fires that were happening out in Los Angeles. I said, someone tell this bitch that the president is not responsible for the fires.
Isn't he not their
That-
president anyways?
Well, so I got the whole someone tell this bitch was taken as targeted harassment.
Yeah, I saw that from you. I remember that. It was like, are you Twitter, are you fucking serious right now? Really?
A turn of phrase is now harassment. But then again, so is math, and apparently the square root symbol is also a gun.
Is now a gun.
So I mean, yeah.
Look, I am not a math genius. I can barely figure out what 2 + 2 is, but even I know what the square root symbol is, and I blame Tide Pods for being apparently delicious for this up and coming generation.
So every single time I see this stuff, I take a look around and go, where the hell am I going, and why am I in this handbasket?
Is it time for me to be an hero?
I just all of this stuff. Okay, so my channel is not necessarily a Magic the Gathering content creator channel. I've only made a total of 5 videos out of 154.
Right.
Okay, so them coming to investigate me, if fine, good luck, have fun, whatever. You don't even know what my name is, and if you're gonna, like I said, if you're gonna false DMCA me, we were talking about this, Spectre.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until the very last day, and then I'm gonna fight it, and they'll have forgotten by then.
or it really bolsters your claim that they filed the DMCA with beyond the spirit and the letter of the law.
Yeah. So it's so let them fucking take my DCI number. I know how to get a new one if I want to play. My problem is I do you mind if I bring up my tweet with my well now 9 things since you decided to add something to it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, give me just a second here.
I'm not going to stop you as long as it doesn't have racial epithets. We're good. And
No,
Zell's not
it's-
here, so we should be okay.
No, it's just got it's got 8 simple things that Wizards of the Coast can do that
Oh right, the one
will
that I
solve
said,
everything.
and the one
And
that
number
I said
9
that,
is yes. Get
give
you
me
a pony.
Yes.
Okay. So this is after being told that I'm being investigated. So I've been informed that I am indeed being looked into, just like the rest of these creators. Is WotC and Mero, of course, Mark, Mero by default.
Mark Rosewater, right?
Yes, this butthurt over videos showing their easily remedied hypocrisy, going after MTG Lion, myself, Galley, Spectre, the Knights, and others. Do you want to know what would have stopped this WotC? Do you honestly want to know? All of this would have just washed away. 1. Unban Jeremy, unban Travis Wu, and the 30 other people you tone policed from a private Facebook group. 2. Actually implement the background checks that the majority of your player base agrees are necessary to keep players, especially minors, safe. 3. Fire Elaine Chase and Mero because they obviously have an agenda they are pushing and it isn't helping you. 4. MTG Lion, he didn't do anything but report on the bullshit you have. Reinstate MTG Lion. I didn't know he wasn't banned at the time. It was basically saying
Right.
Lion got banned. Reinstate Lion, he didn't do anything except report on the bullshit you've been spewing. 5. Hold the Mana Source and Tolarian Community College to the same standards that you hold Jeremy. Their fans are still attacking him. 6. Acknowledge that you have problems with the card stock and that you have problems with the production and overproduction of product to milk as much out of your player base as possible. 7. Stop pussyfooting around and accept the responsibility of the Judges Association as your fucking employees. You require them at every event, and doing what you have been doing for years may work for you, but it's bullshit practice and you know it. And finally, 8. Keep your social justice politics out of a card game. Stop with the tone policing, the wanting equality of outcome for 50-50 representation in the pros in a game that is a choice to play. Stop calling men and the majority of your player base toxic. They make up about 77% of your customer base. If you alienate them, they're going to go elsewhere. Forcing this agenda into your product has torn your player base, in half. You are also pandering to a very small minority that do not purchase your product. These 8 things are some of the things that you can do to fix this problem. Silencing creators, players, and fans is not the way to go about it. Just because we aren't Wedge or the Professor doesn't mean we don't matter. And then, of course, number 9, give Spectre a pony.
There you go. Your list is now complete.
I don't know why you want a pony, but, you know, it's a
That's
pony.
a stupid question. I want a pony.
I clap in your favor.
I mean, this is the kind. It almost seems like common sense stuff if you think about it. Maybe not the fire lane chase thing. That may not seem like common sense, but it's very much common sense for the vast majority of what you said. And the fact that they are very unwilling to even consider it, that their worry is people like you and me and Jeremy who are saying, hey, can you guys maybe unfuck yourselves here? You know, can you look into this issue? You know, Elaine Chase said that the entire pedophilia issue was a non-issue. It was misinformation. I noticed that Elaine Chase hasn't said anything ever since then. Anybody else notice that?
So, I
I said
something
in
to add
the
about the
video.
Elaine Chase stuff.
Oh,
And
go ahead.
not even just about that. So I'm in a digital media kind of degree plan. And so one of my professors that's in print and marketing said something similar just in class, unrelated. Like if so Elaine Chase posted the whole mission accomplished with the Spike tournament grinder, and it was on a wood desk, and you could visibly see the card curling up because the shadow was so damn harsh on the bottom of the card. He said that if she was in the print or marketing industry, like legitimately in print and marketing, she would have been fired for that.
She should be
that just
fired to
kind of
begin
shows
with.
how much of a circus they have going on there. She's VP of marketing, and Jeremy already touched on this in one of his videos about how she only has an education degree, so she's grossly unqualified.
Her education is for kindergarteners, I believe. So yeah, that's fucking wonderful.
Which is kind of odd because isn't the average Magic player 25? Are they saying that 25-year-olds are now in kindergarten? Is that what Elaine is saying? My favorite thing that they put out, and I think Jeremy made fun of this. They put out a tweet saying, you know, for like GP Atlanta, I think, but it's like 2 judges like crouching right next to this little child. It says, "Judge pro tip: when answering judge calls, try to get down to the player's level." And you know, my response was, "That person doesn't look 25." It was like an 8-year-old kid. It was like an 8-year-old little girl.
Oh, and I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
The one that cosplays as Nisa, and her dad like pretty much made a social media account for her and just posts pictures of her all the time.
Yes, that
as
one.
if it was her. Yeah. I think that's kind of almost borderline child abuse on the father's part as well, because
Right.
he's clearly using her to meet influential people in the Magic the Gathering space to get, you know, special favors.
Worked for Honey Boo Boo, didn't it?
That's basically what she is.
Like this is that bothers me, but it's not as bad as some of the other stuff I've seen. You know, at the end of the day, Wizards is going to do whatever the hell they want. There's nothing we can do about it. The only thing we can do is just keep calling them out on their bullshit. And, you know, if they ban us, guess what? You took literally any chance you had of stopping us. You know, you have nothing to dangle in front of us anymore. It's like with Jeremy. You got rid of any leverage you may have had over Jeremy when you permanently banned him. And they haven't figured this out. Their entire concept is if we permanently ban the people criticizing us, then they'll stop because we banned them. It's like There are
No,
90
I can still go to
things.
Walmart and purchase any products I want because
I can
they're
still
all
go to
there,
I can still go
and
to
I
my
can
local
still
gaming
play.
store.
They're not
Yeah.
going to stop you.
Yeah, they're not going to stop me from giving them money. That's wow. I can't play in sanctioned events. Oh no.
No, but I can
My
hang
local
around at local
one of my
game store and play all day if I want to.
Yeah.
the people at my local gaming store know about my Twitter, and because Jeremy has mentioned and some of them watch Jeremy, but they would be appalled if I got banned. They'd be like, "But she's like one of the nicest fucking people at the store."
It's the exact same thing with the stores that I judged at. And this is one of the things that also why I want background checks done. I think a lot of the smaller stores use their judges as pseudo employees. And what I mean by that is the first store I used to judge at, I was doing it so often that they ended up trusting me completely that Friday Night Magic, there was no other employee there. The store owner gave me the keys and said, "Hey, if you don't mind taking over, the store as well as Friday Night Magic, would you mind?" And I said, "Sure." I got paid at the end of the day as if I was an employee under the table, but I think some stores use employees like that. If I wanted to, I could have walked out with thousands of dollars. I would not have purchased, spent $400 or $500 on my Warhammer 40K army. I probably could have walked out of there, taking little boxes at a time.
Well, here's the thing that Wizards needs to understand. When I stopped playing, I went from one hobby to another, and that was video games. I can buy. I play Overwatch a lot. Well, not as much, but I play
Sorry.
Overwatch. So I purchased Overwatch for $60, and I can spend $40 for loot boxes whenever there's a new event.
Right.
When I was playing Magic, I would go in, and it's not just the $5 for me and Gwen to play. It's we bought the 2 entry fees, and then you go and you buy a fat pack, or you go and you buy a playmat, or you go and you buy 6 packs, or you go and you buy enough to draft, or you buy sleeves, I was spending $60-$70 a week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now Wizards doesn't get that money.
Right.
It's and well, not only Wizards doesn't get that money, but my local game store, who I became friends with the owner, doesn't get that money. He knew he could count on me to help him if he was in a slump. I was a rules
Right.
advisor. I wasn't a judge, but I was a rules advisor.
I'm going to tell you right now, actually, the rules advisor test is harder than the judge test. I can say that I can say that it's absolutely true. The rules advisor is actually harder than the judge test. So if you want to be a judge and you've passed the rules advisor test, find yourself a level 2 judge and get certified. Of course, if you're a child molester, then don't do it, please. What's up, Firewater?
Well, that's the thing. If I was a child molester, I'd become a level 2 judge really, really easy. But that's besides the point. No,
Right.
it's more along the lines of he trusted me. While he was taking care of things, if there was a problem that came up, the people that I knew on a weekly basis that we all played, they would say, Antwon, what's the rule for this? We need help with this. So I'd have to stop my game, and I'm a control player. I'd have to stop my game to go make a ruling. So, and then the inside joke was that my games were going to take forever because I'm always going to turns. And it's like, well, if you fuckers would stop, pulling me away from the game, I'd be able to, stomp the person that I'm playing. And then the game store that I played when I was living in Carson City, the person who was the judge ended up becoming a partner in the gaming store because 2 people started it. One of them left because he couldn't deal with it anymore, and the other person said, "Do you want to? I need help. Do you want to be an employee? I'll pay you, etc., etc." And then eventually he took over the store. He saved up enough, bought the store out from the guy who owned it.
Right.
So that's what happens. That's what's supposed to happen. I don't use community a lot, but this is exactly what it is. The Magic the Gathering community takes care of its own, always has. I take Gwen with me. Gwen is the one that got me back into Magic. Okay, I started again at the end of the Allura block. All right, my first pre-release was Zendikar, and guess what I pulled out of my first pack?
What'd you pull?
Jace, the Mind Sculptor.
Yeah, I had a god pack. I got a foil Jace and a non-foil Jace in the same pack. That actually we took a picture of that, and that went on the store's website. So
Yeah, my pack.
that's $4 I ever spent.
Yeah, my one of my packs had the Jason Mind Sculptor, which I did not use because I didn't know the power of the Planeswalkers at the time. And the other one was a Prime Time. I got a Primeval Titan. I won every single one of my games as soon as he hit the field.
Well, yeah,
So,
it's a Titan. It's supposed to win every time it hits the field.
so, but that's what I'm saying. It's a community.
Right.
I have a female with me every single time I go. She has never, ever had someone do anything. And we've been to stores all over the country. She's never had anyone say anything that these people think happens to women in gaming.
I've played at 6 or 7 stores. I've judged at a couple. I've never seen. I can't say that. Out of the blue comments, I've never seen. I've never seen the harassment that they claim women face on a daily basis in these hobbies.
No, but you've heard bants, right? You've heard them talking shit.
That's what it is. It's bants. It's they talk shit to each other. Now there is one person I think who I can say she used her sexuality against the guys. And
I know someone like that too. You tell your story and then I'll tell mine and we can compare notes.
She used her sexuality against the guys, and she was very, very big on doing so because it worked. She was 18, 19. She was relatively good looking. Never worked with me because, I'm at the time like 27, 28, and she's 18. There's an age discrepancy there. Worked with some of the guys though, and I never liked having her around, but any of the other women loved having them around. I'm still listening. I'll be right back. I'm still listening though. Go ahead with your story.
All right. So this girl, she did the same thing. Now she wasn't on a scale of 1 to 10. I'd give her a solid 6, but her personality drops it down to a 3. But she would wear low-cut tops, and she would flirt, and she would touch their hand when they're shuffling, and she was very engaged with the people. This is also the only girl that has ever went off on me. Now, she all because someone else got first place. So a friend of mine a new player who we taught how to play, he started playing a burn deck. Burn decks are really easy to learn. He was playing Boros Burn. And he was going to be going to the military the next week. This was his last FNM. He gets all the way up to the final game. He's playing for first place. He wins. He turns back to Gwen and says, "Gwen, I did it." Not even at me. And she gets up out of her chair like Swamp Thing rising from the ground and starts screaming at me that I'm fucked, my life is fucked, that I manipulate people, I have an army, and they're just trying to go after her boyfriend and everything. I'm like, I didn't even fucking say anything. So I sat there with my mouth literally my jaw literally on the floor going, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Is this bitch serious?
Yes. Oh, she was very, very serious. She got escorted out by security and she was banned from the store.
I'm not I should be, but I'm not surprised when I hear things like this because the perpetual victims are real. They exist. We see this here. It's like as soon as the first thing with Jeremy showed up, Katie Bates posts on Hipsters of the Coast about how she hasn't slept in days because of the harassment she's faced and stuff like that. It's like, bitch, nobody's harassing you and you know it.
My thing is it's just words. Now, I'm not going to say that words can't affect people. Okay?
Right.
My whole thing with Cody happened because of words, right? He mislabeled me a whole bunch of stuff. All right, fine. I'm not one to say that. I'm not afraid to say that. Yes, it affected me. It pissed me off. But at the end of the day, it's just words.
Right.
If words are causing you to lose sleep, if you are literally shaking because of words on the internet, because of a
Bitch, turn
tweet,
off the computer.
well, no, not only that, but you need to find some fucking therapy. It's not just turn off the computer. It's you need to find some help.
That being said, turn off the computer. It also helps. It's. Hi, Cinder. Yes, Cody is a little piece of trash. We know. Cinder, reminding us that Cody has Parkinson's. I guess I don't know, but
I didn't even pay attention to any of Cody's tweets at all, because as soon as he started going off the first time with me, I muted his ass, and I was like, I don't have fucking time to deal with this idiot.
I try not to block people.
Oh, I didn't block. I muted.
I try not to block people on Twitter. It doesn't really work anyways, because you just open an incognito mode in Chrome and there you go. You can see everything they're saying. You know, but like I think I have like 4 or 5 people on block. I think it's like Cody's little girlfriend.
I have a few people on block, but I mainly use the block feature to make sure that I never see any of their posts ever.
Yeah, because even if
which
you mute
is
them,
more than just muted. Because muted
Right.
is like you won't see notifications. And
it's not even that. It's like, you know, when I was having the whole thing last month, it's like I muted some of the people who were involved. So what ended up happening? People who were their friends started tagging me in the same threads so that I would get notifications from them. It's like, are you effing serious right now?
Well, there's always ways to work around everything.
Yeah,
it's not that hard.
That's why if I'm going to do it from now on, I'm going to block them, because then I don't see anything. Yay!
Well, there's this really nifty feature with the block. All right, Spectre, you get pissed off at something I say and you block me. Guess what? If I block you and then unblock you, it unblocks me from you.
Does it really?
Yes.
I know it does that for lists. I don't think that does it for... Because I have blocked people that have blocked me, and then I unblocked them, and it didn't unblock me from them.
I'm going to test this right now. Let's see. Cody, I've got you blocked. Let's unblock you. Nope, still blocked.
They may have fixed it then. Because that was a way around a block a few months ago. You just unblock them, or you block them and then unblock them, and it unblocks you from them.
You can do that for lists. If somebody adds you a list, which I hate it when people add me to lists. Because they always add me to stupid shit. Like,
I got added to a list
girls, fucking nudies, or whatever. I don't fucking post nude photos, you know?
I got added to a list after posting something, and the list was assholes I don't want to know about. I was like, well, then what the fuck did you add me to a list for? I'm
blocked by Will Wheaton. I don't even know why. Never tweeted at him. Never talked to him.
Like, majority of people are blocked by Will Wheaton.
Get the Nazis off the tweeters. Okay, Will, we're going to start with you.
He's like Steve Shives, you know?
He uses the Gamergate block bot, so if you followed someone who was pro Gamergate, you were automatically blocked.
Now, if anybody follows me, you're automatically blocked by FemMTG, the one that wrote that awful article about women at local game stores. The death by 1,000 paper cuts one. We all know what we're talking about, right?
Oh, that article was garbage.
Pure garbage.
Hot Atlanta trash fire, middle of the summer garbage. That's,
by the way,
just nasty.
MTG, that girl won the 2nd place of Pack One Pick One Training Edition. I was number 1, of course, because bias. Well, and I'm fucking gorgeous. I am prettier than her. And then Tara was number 3.
I now want this cat fight to happen. Antwon, back me up on this.
I know exactly where she works and everything.
I do not promote violence.
I could dox her because I know where she lives too.
Could we not do that? Yeah, I would. I would prefer not to, because I kind of wanted to talk about that. We had some doxing going on. We had when Jeremy put out the what's it called,
The judge list.
the judge list. It's like Phil DeLuca changed his name to Phil headquarters doxed minors DeLuca. It's like, but how can there be minors on there if the average player is 25? Winking emoji.
But again, we're talking about averages. So I mean, like the 7-year-old who's really good at magic, she is an outlier. She's an anomaly. The game is still set for 13 and up.
Is she good at magic? I think she just plays magic, Zal.
Right. No. Well, for her age range, she's really good. But it's like I when I would judge at local gaming stores, I would have several kids who were under the age of 13. I constantly had them. I'd have them moved over to their own table, and we'd be teaching them, and we'd be and whatnot. Why is recommended friends? Why is like Phil DeLuca actually one of the recommended friends on Twitch?
Because Twitch is trying to make you expand your horizons.
I will murder someone. I'm dead serious. Hold on. I'm going to.
I think I have Phil blocked.
I have Phil blocked on.
Phil blocked me because he couldn't handle the fact that I'm smarter than he is.
A sea cucumber is smarter than he is.
Okay, fine. That I proved that he's a moron. Is that better?
Sea cucumber could prove he's a moron.
Give me some fucking credit here. God
it's
damn.
Phil DeLuca. I will not stoop that low, and I will not insult you.
But yeah, okay, so we're talking about doxing, right?
Right.
So let's talk about Darth Malba. This motherfucker, it took forever to get him banned off of Twitter for actively going after someone.
He's actually not banned.
He's not banned on Twitter anymore?
He is not banned.
See, I'm like I said, I'm not a content creator. I don't keep up with these people. I don't need to keep up with Malba, but it took forever to get him off of Twitter, and then he apparently came back. That's fine. Bering found a way around the permanent ban. Whatever. Destiny found a way around the permanent ban. It's very easy. You just put in a new email address. So I just think that this is my stance on doxing. If you have to stoop that low, if you have to, because you can't deal with an argument, you can't deal with someone being smarter than you can't deal with anything like that, you have to attack not their argument, but you have to go after their family, you have to go after their job, you have to go after their personal life.
Right.
You are less than the scum on the bottom of my shoe.
Absolutely. By the way, there's at the top of the recommended friends on Twitch, that's Phil DeLuca.
Yeah. Well, that's his Twitter handle, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So, yeah, he's a piece of shit. He really is.
Yes, he is. The guy is a homophobe. The guy is a transphobe.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely a transphobe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, he is. He tries to play it off as he's this bastion of liberal thought and whatnot, and then it's like he starts making homophobic comments and stuff. When you call him out on it, he's like,
he misgendered me like several fucking times, and Tara as well.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of those things. It's you don't have the right, you don't think properly, so he can say whatever he wants. That's that liberal tolerance they're always talking about.
Well, they got blinders on, pretty much. They're not seeing reality. Blinders and shades.
It's a double standard. It's a double standard, and I hate fucking double standards. I don't live by double standards. I refuse to live by double standards.
Right.
If I'm going to hold someone to a certain way of thinking, or if I'm going to hold someone to a certain standard, I have to hold myself to that as well. I can't take it away.
I have to hold myself to a higher standard than I hold other people. I am far more critical of myself than anybody else will ever be. And I'm also highly critical of anybody whose side I'm on. I'm obviously never going to get everybody to be on the high road morally, but I'm going to get as many people as I can. I'm going to hold them to a standard, and that's why I've been very critical of the shit Jeremy has done over the past few weeks, like this whole thing with the what's it called, the chargeback. I honestly think he not only has he possibly put himself into a legal issue, but he's also opened it up so that now they might have a case and they might be able to stop anybody from getting any type of refund in the future, not just with Magic Online, but if this goes to court and he loses because of this, he's going to give companies like EA or Ubisoft a precedent so that they don't have to give you any money back for anything, period, end of discussion. That's my concern. And it's a short-term win at the moment. I will give him that. But he's blowing this out of proportion. He doesn't know what WotC's response is going to be.
My opinion, if he does take it to court and that goes to court, I doubt it will. Because most companies, like 90% of the time, will settle. But if it does go to court, courts typically side with the consumers when it's company versus consumer. They typically almost always side with the consumer. That's why you had so many in the 90s where all these fast food chains got sued for like the infamous lady,
the hot coffee,
and the lady that was getting sued by Wendy's because a guy lost his thumb in the chili.
Well,
I remember that.
And she like took it, or maybe it was a guy that took it, and they were like, "No, I bought this. It's mine," and they wouldn't give it back so that they could actually put the finger back on.
I remember that.
Here's the issue is that in this case, this is not a simple, consumer issue. When was his last purchase of the digital product? If it was like 6 months ago, he's going to be in trouble. Yeah, he might be within the chargeback window, but he's still going to be in trouble because he got the product as described. He was able to use it up until the point where they said that he couldn't use it. And if he's made it very clear in videos, he's kind of had this whole thing where he says one thing and then he says the complete opposite in another video. He said several times that he hasn't talked to Wizards of the Coast about anything ever since his ban. He's just gone full shitlord mode. But he's also
they won't talk to him. They refuse to talk to him.
So if he hasn't actually opened the dialogue about it, there's no good faith effort there. The second thing is the other option was to go after them through the courts. And he said he was never going to he wasn't going to do it because every lawyer he's talked to has said you will spend more money than you will recoup. So there's no good faith effort there. If WotC wanted to push this and they wanted to respond, and let's be honest, I think they're getting to the point where they will be vindictive and petulant enough, they might do something.
Are you kidding? They're already vindictive enough.
I don't think they're that vindictive, so to speak.
I actually think Jeremy still has a case because with Magic Online specifically, the cards that you get in Magic Online have a real world value. And in U.S. court, those actually are considered physical property, basically. Because, especially since the way that their terms of service are worded.
Right.
Like,
I saw the Leo Lesser video.
Well, that and like I said, they side with the consumers most of the time anyway. I mean,
well, the problem is that if he decided to go that way, remember, a chargeback has other implications than just that loss of revenue. It does affect your rating with lenders and banking institutions. Even one chargeback can have farther reaching consequences than people realize. This is why eBay, for example, has things in place to help prevent fraudulent chargebacks, because a small vendor is 100 times or 1,000 times more likely to be negatively impacted by fraudulent chargebacks than, say, WotC. I'll grant you that. But it still has a real world it does have a real world consequence for the seller. Now, here's the other thing. He may have actually considered committed wire fraud, which is a federal crime because the what is it, 18 U.S. code, I think it is. I'd have to look it up again. But he intended to defraud the company itself. He is not legally entitled to that money. He has no judgment saying that he isn't legally entitled to that money. He has paid for items that he received. Yes, it was taken away from him, and that's why the legal case was necessary in a situation like this. He didn't go that route. So what he has done is he has taken money that was not legally his. He has defrauded them. Now, it's over a couple of $100. Okay, I'll grant you that. But that's still a felony within the federal the federal law system. Do I think it's going to go that far? No, I don't. But I'm saying these are possibilities that I don't think he really thought of. He wanted that quick win, and he wanted to be able to say, "I won against Wizards again." If Wizards
I'm going to go
wants
back
to be
to that.
petulant,
It counts as a physical product, right? It has a real world value.
It's
And
not. It's not considered a felony. It's considered a misdemeanor because of the price value.
Oh, and also, I mean, he paid for a service, and then they revoked that service from him. Him owning those cards was the service, and revoking it, he didn't get what he paid for. In a way,
yeah. If it's considered real world property,
yeah,
and we're not talking about leasing a car here. We're talking about he actually purchased the cards. He's not making payments on it.
yeah.
The cards are under law considered his possessions. What
Right.
WotC did with loose terms of service is steal from him.
Right. But
now what he did,
it's like if you paid off a car and then they just repossessed it out of nowhere.
Right, but in order to get it back, you would have to file a lawsuit to get it back and establish, the legal chain of custody and claim.
I'm not saying that he didn't do some. He worked the system.
Right.
Now we don't know what the real world consequences of that is going to be yet.
No, we don't.
And it may not be anything because people do this all the time. There's insurance bases in these credit companies that do it. Now, if the effect happens to him, then that's his bad. It's just on him. I don't think there's going to be that big. Now, if this was a claim, because we're talking what? I think he said it's like $300.
Something like
that. He was able to sell off most of it because he knew the ban was coming, and he was still trying to sell off the last 300.
I know a lot of them won't even take any kind of charges if it's like below a certain amount. Like, who cares?
So if this was like him trying to sell off 8 sets of the Power 9 on MTGO,
right,
that's a couple, that's tens of thousands of dollars. Let's be honest here. If that happened, that could have real world consequences. What we're talking about is less than $5,000. It's considered a misdemeanor if he did steal anything. Anything over $5,000, it becomes grand theft. Now, the problem with this is it's just like $300. Wizards is going to eat it. The credit company's already paid it off. Their insurance is covering the money that he got back.
Right.
Nothing's going to happen from this. Now, does he look bad? I say he gamed to the system. WotC has been trying to dick him for months now, and he decided to take control. I'm one of the people out there that agrees that after everything happened, he kind of went a little nuts. Yeah. He's still very angry at this situation because he cannot believe that no one.
Too.
I'm not
blaming him for being angry.
Yeah, I don't blame him for being angry. This is a game that he has played since 1994. He has put time, effort, blood, sweat, tears, money, everything into it, and Wizards turned his back on him. Right. He has every right to be angry. I still think he's overstepped on some of the things. Now, him gaming the system, that's a win for him. It's not anything major. Like I said, we're dealing with $300, possibly $500.
Well, and like you said, if it was like 5,000 or whatever, it probably would have been more worthwhile to go with the lawsuit route then. Like if it was a substantial, large amount of money, that would probably be more justified for the lawsuit route.
Absolutely, but the issue is the way he did it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Jeremy does not have cause to be upset over what has happened, but God forbid, I can hold a grudge as well as anybody. Just ask Antwon. But there is a way that I would have done it, and it's not the way that he's going, or that he went. I guess it's just a set of values I have. I don't know, which is kind of funny because, on the Kumite, I think it was, he was arguing with Medicare about his values and everything with regards to DMs and stuff like that. But I don't know, maybe I'm being...
I think you're being a little overcritical. That's just my opinion. Like I said, it's even Firewater said the vendor's going to eat the cost. The vendor eats the $500. If the vendor eats the $300, that's WotC wipes their ass with $300. So it's
at this point. You sure?
Well, I know they're losing money, but
the only time that they ever really do credit transactions is through MTG Online or any of the online service like MTG Arena. As far as like money from print, they've already made their money once it goes through the distributors.
And since we are talking about something that he hasn't touched for, months, they've already had that money in their account. They've been able to spend that money. They've already recouped their losses. So it's not. Now I understand that it could be considered wire fraud, but in the same instance, it could also be considered bad business practice on WotC's part and consumer fraud. Now, wire fraud is bad; consumer fraud is worse.
Right. Because I agree.
So this is going to... Jeremy gets to have his W. He gets to tout it over WotC as much as he wants. WotC gets to say, guess what? You're banned. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that was also one of the other things I had is like, he's like, yep, yeah, just remember, Unsleeved Media 1, Unsleeved Media 2, Wizard 0. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they have at least a 1, and their 1 is far better than your 2 right now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but all that Wizards can do is ban him, and that's it.
Yes.
That's all they can do to me. They can't make me stop posting on social media. They can't do any of that shit.
No,
what are they gonna do?
I agree.
They can't even stop me from playing in tournaments because I can just go get a new DCI because their system's so broken that you can just do that.
I mean, the point is that there's a right way and a wrong way. I think he chose the wrong way, but I can understand, he's been dicked around by WotC enough, and I think he just wanted the quick win. And he kind of wants to move on. I get that feeling that he kind of wants to move on from this entire thing, but he's not able to.
You're half right.
Right. He kind of wants to keep this going because it's drawing in viewers. It's making WotC look bad. Maybe he can get unbanned if he causes enough of a stink. But I think he also wants to move away from it. The problem is that WotC just literally keeps putting their foot in their mouth. And it's impossible for him to properly do it. I feel really bad for him in terms of that, but it's like...
Well, Jeremy's actually really vindictive.
Oh, very. He's very vindictive.
I don't know if you noticed it,
I would never have guessed. I would never have guessed.
I don't think he's going to stop just because he's getting tired of it.
I do agree with Firewater. And he's going to like me saying this. I agree with Firewater for the fact that they will never unban Jeremy. They can't. They've already put their foot down. They've put their foot down. They've put their cards on the table. He's out. If they go back on it,
they'll be weak.
It takes everything that they've done away.
I mean, the thing that they could do is they could possibly in a year or two reevaluate and go, you know what, we're going to unban you. They could do that after this entire thing blows over. I don't think it'll happen. But
I don't think they can even do that because they've drawn a line by doing it, by banning him.
Let's be honest here.
If they unban him, well, most of us that are on Jeremy's side are still pissed off and probably are not going to be very happy or buying that many Wizards products And if they unban him now, they're going to piss off the other side. That's even more people that they're not going to buy Wizard product.
They are stuck in what they chose to do. Now, as Firewater says in the chat, they went fucking nuclear, and they shouldn't have. They made a snap decision that is going to affect them from now on. They have to stick with this decision.
It's one of those things you learn in like conflict resolution and like the military and law enforcement. There's proper escalation of force, and you don't go right to the, hey, we're going to shoot this guy just because he threw a punch. You know, there's proper escalation of force. You use the least amount of force you need to subdue the target, I guess you could say. And they didn't do that. They just went, how could we do this? Well, the minimum we could do is like a 6-month ban. No, fuck that. Permanent ban. Get this fucker out of here.
Basically, what they did is Jeremy threw a punch, and they decided to throw a satellite from space at him. You know, they went past all normal means of attack, and they went, all right, we're going to throw a satellite. Right. You know, that's what they did. They have to stick with it. And unfortunately, this looks bad on them because, as I stated in my Twitter post, they've split the player base in half. Now, a lot of people were saying, oh, there are people who don't know about Jeremy. They do now.
They will.
There are people all over the world that know about Jeremy. Right. And if people are talking about it, I could go to my local game store now and talk about Jeremy. And I know if the regulars are still there, I know about 8 of them that follow Jeremy. We used to talk about Wedge and the Professor and Jeremy. We talked about Game Finder when he was bringing it out. We talked about Diriums. We talked about all of the big YouTubers because now whether we subscribe to them or not, we knew about them.
Right. It's a Streisand effect.
So now we're down to 15 million players all around the world. They know about this. They have heard about it, or they know someone who has
the Western
told them
Hemisphere knows about it.
Yeah, they have told their friends, or they have given them articles, or hey, did you know there are pedo judges? What? Are you kidding me? Yes, here's Lou's report. He did a thorough investigation. There are 10 of them.
I was just gonna say, Lou just followed me on Twitter.
Yeah, he followed me too. I was feeling really good about myself today, and that was like, oh, he's probably like following a bunch of people. I'm not special. Oh.
He's probably following everybody that's like mentioned in this new drama.
Oh, see, I don't even get a follow. Fuck you, Watsy. You're pissing me off even more.
It's Antwon's
biased.
upset.
They're biased.
Antwon's about to join Andy Race War
created entities. They're biased against internet created entities. Fuck Watsy.
Well, I hope Lou likes all the nude like trans girls I like on Twitter on his feed.
He's gonna be like, all right, I'm just gonna.
I'm just scrolling past. Oh, Galley Turbo, like, holy shit! Wait, that's a dick.
He's gonna be like, okay, let's see. Let's see what's on Twitter. There's Galley Turbo. What the fuck?
That's a penis.
Why did I follow this
Christian channel? I am a Christian man.
I've had some really weird people follow me lately, like Thomas Medina. I don't know who he is. He's a professional magician and part-time handsome person. This is his Twitter profile. Chicago's sleight of hand wonder boy. He's got 356 followers, but he's following 1,000. So I'm assuming I'm a mass follow, and he's gonna unfollow me shortly. That's the
Wonder Boy.
Yeah, he's Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy.
So I've been growing in Twitter followers, which is funny. And then I don't get the porn Twitter anymore. The girls that follow you and they, look at my cams. I haven't gotten one of those in a year. I was like,
I got one of those. I got one of those last month, and it's like weird. Why is this a thing?
Yeah. So, Firewater says, answer your DMs, yo.
I know. I'm not opening anything right now just because I like my computer's already being taxed with streaming this and recording, so I can put it on YouTube as well. It's like,
Firewater, send it to me.
I mean, my processes right now. Oh, it's actually not that bad right now. I guess actually running malware bytes might have fixed something. See, I had this like freaking worm on my computer. It was like every once in a while it'd pop up with this thing saying your Chromium and Bing search tool are out of date. It's like, I don't use either one of those. What the fuck is this shit? Microsoft, nobody uses your shit. I don't know what this is.
So the DM is nothing really important. Firewater wants you to bring him on stream.
Oh, it's we're not really shooting the shit. We actually have a topic. Now, I might have forgotten what the fucking topic is, but we had one.
We were going to talk about doxing.
Yeah, I think we talked about that. Oh, did you see what happened to what might be happening, I should say, to Filthy Casual?
Oh, him being banned. I didn't see them stream. I saw that something was happening, but I didn't get to see them.
So Filthy Casual got from a throwaway account what looks like the same thing that Galley got in edit mode. So we'll know tomorrow, I guess. My personal opinion is that he should have sat on it until tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw that last night.
Yeah. But he might be getting the same thing Galley got, and it's like dated for like 8:50, like 8:47 in the morning. That's when it's supposed to go out to him or something. I honestly think he should have sat on it until it happens or doesn't happen, because if it doesn't happen now, he kind of looks a little crazy. If it happens, he tells the Knights, he tells Galley, and he tells like Lou and Jeremy beforehand, you know, like last night, hey, I got this, let's watch for Thursday. And if he gets it, he could be like, I knew it.
But now
you're kind of screwed either way, to be honest.
Yeah. If he doesn't say anything, then, you know, it's not anything important. If he does say something, there's something that possibly could happen.
Right.
Everybody is kind of, that's the thing. This came out of fucking nowhere. That's why everybody's kind of talking about it.
Right.
It's like, oh, look, people are being targeted.
Well,
and
everybody was so excited about spoiler season. I was like, oh yeah. And then I got this email in my email box. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well,
so this is something that just kind of happened, and I mean, it's just, so now it's the thing to talk about. And what shocks me is that it's going after the smaller content creators.
Well, I went over that earlier, why it's going like that. We're not people who are likely to fight against them if they issue DMCA takedown strikes. We're not going to have the money to be able to do it, I guess you could say. That's their thinking. And as I said in one of my videos, I'm enough of an asshole that I will go into debt to fight it, because I love a good fight, and I'm eventually going to recoup all my legal fees, and I am going to get money for the time that you forced me to spend on this. So
I was surprised that they even did it, because it seemed like the last few weeks it's been dying down.
Right.
Like,
yes, exactly.
Jeremy made a few videos about like, oh, are they really enforcing the, you know, background checks? Are they really? I mean, that was about it, but it was not anything like hot, like that went viral, where everybody was just constantly spamming, you know, Wizard of the Coast account. I haven't spammed their account at all in the last month.
Right.
I thought things were dying down. It was almost over with, and then they spring this on us, and now, oh, everything's here's the drama again.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like it was dying down. Nobody really cared. It's almost like what Watsy was like, we can't let this die. We're actually popular.
People are going to buy our product because we showed that we are social justice positive, except no one likes
that. Our print quality is garbage. Is that why they came out and admitted that their print quality was shit?
That's one of the reasons I think they're going after a couple of us, is they didn't want to admit that the print quality's gone down. They didn't want to admit that the card stock issues existed. They wanted to keep that wrapped up and under the blanket, so to speak. And then it got so much traction that they had to come out and admit that this is true. They're going to fix it. That's what they say, but it's true. And now look at who they're going after. Lion.
And that would have happened even if they had not banned Jeremy, that still would have happened.
More than likely.
The print quality is so vital to the fucking product.
Right, but
when
like
you get a card fresh out of
value
pack
of the
and you
product.
can't use it.
It's the point of why you buy the product.
I still have foil lands from like 2001, 2002 that have not bent.
I have foil full art Zendikar lands from the original Zendikar that are still
Swamps.
perfectly usable.
I have some
Swamps,
Onslaught
I want them.
block and Mirrodin block stuff that's
Right.
not been at all.
I want
That
your
are foil.
swamps. Please send me your swamps. I want to remake that Erebos EDH deck.
No,
Like
they're
this-
my swamps.
As soon as I have the money, I swear to God, the first thing I'm doing is I'm putting that Erebos EDH deck together. There is nothing more broken than winning turn 5 consistently. That was my I'm an asshole deck, by the way.
I've seen somebody play that, except they used CDC Undid Vizier because then they can just tutor constantly.
It actually started out as a Drana, the original Drana from the original Zendikar block. It started out as that, and then it kind of morphed to Skittles, the Bright Dragon. And then it was like I need a multiplayer deck, and I realized that, you know, if I switch out a few of the cards from Skittles, I actually have a viable, you know, French banless legal multiplayer commander deck. And it got to the point that I would play multiplayer games. I actually had to put all my commander decks into the same colored sleeves because I put each one of them into different colored sleeves. But they knew exactly which one I was playing, and they would be like, okay, you either switch decks now or we're all ganging up on you and killing you like turn 2. And I was like, fine, whatever. After that, it was kind of, you know, it was like,
I'm probably gonna get off here.
that's fine. It's about to
Yeah.
we're about done. I think we've covered everything. I'm going to keep an eye on this. I'm fully expecting that you're going to be banned on Friday.
I bet I will. I'll probably get an email right at 5 on Friday.
I don't even think you'll get an email. Did Jeremy get an email?
Yes, you get an email when you're banned.
Oh, well,
They
okay then.
let you know.
You'll probably be banned. Lion will be banned.
Now
If
I'm
it's true about
curious
Cass
So-
will be banned.
if it will be lifetime bans or 6-month bans.
So I'm hoping that everybody gets a lifetime ban. Now, this is reasoning for me.
You're
Because
an
if
asshole.
everybody gets a lifetime ban and I'm the only one who doesn't, I have an insider's view. I can do what I need to do, and I can skyrocket my channel as high as it needs to be.
I'm the only person talking about this that's not banned. Who do you believe now? You're fucking fake news, Antwon.
I actually hope I get a lifetime ban because then I can really be like, oh, look how transphobic, you know, Wizard of the Coast is. They are driving trans women away from the game. They're driving trans people away from the game with their hateful anti-consumer policies.
Well, that's all. I was talking to Angie, and she was like, "I hope I get banned too, because the headlines are going to be great. Wizard bans mother of small children worried about pedophiles, and they're judging a bit. And they're judging. I'm like, that's fucking harsh.
I just want to say,
Lou, you just know Lou's just like salivating, like, yeah. I hope they get banned. I can report on this and just savage on them.
Friday around 5, Lou's going to be sitting at the DCI ban list, spamming F5, trying to figure out when somebody's banned. You know,
Hey, Galley Turbo! Hey, how you doing?
What's actually what was actually kind of ironic and funny was yesterday, Kaz was kind of saying, I'm not sure if I believe the email that you got, you know, make me believe. And then it was like 10-15 minutes later, he's like, so you're gonna want to be watching the stream because you're gonna want to see this. And that's when he got the whole thing about apparently you know, they're gonna send him a mail tomorrow. It was kind of like, do you believe me now, fucker? But
Well, I would like for you to actually keep an eye out if you get any more information about my stuff, and let me know, because I will
I'm not asking him for anything because I'm fairly certain that they have ways to look at who accesses the list, what time, how often, stuff like that. And I don't want to put him in a position where he might be a little
No, I'm just saying if you hear anything. I'm not asking you to ask him
right.
anything.
If he sends me anything, I'll be sure to inform everybody. But any last words you guys want to give out?
No, I'm good. Ciao.
All right.
Have a good
Subscribe to Help for the Guild List. Show up every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Proper Villains Live. It's a blast.
You get to make Zell say the N word.
I
You
do.
have to pay $2.
At least, yes.
So that was the episode. I hope you enjoyed it, everyone. Friday, I am going to be streaming the Path of Exile Pokemon League, as we're calling it. It's Bestiary League. We're calling it Pokemon because you catch them, so hope you'll tune in for that. I'm still working on what character I'm going to run, but until then, see you next time. I'm Spectre, and I'm out.